Plastering is an extremely hard skill to learn, and one of the biggest problems is knowing which products to use at what given time, and that's why we're going to make sure today we're going to cover the exact undercoat plasters, rendering plasters, line plasters, then talk about the differences between them all to give you a direct idea on when to use each one for each situation. So let's get straight into it. The first one we're going to use is British Gypsum Hardwall. Now let's talk why we would use this. So for fresh brick like this, you're going to be using Hardwall, and the process is very much the same. We've got quite a thick mix here. We want to do one initial coat on the brickwork. So one tight coat, a lot of pressure behind the trowel. We're just pushing the plaster into the brick, and that way it's going to give us a nice strong bond. What we don't want is to whack a big thick layer on and the underside isn't sticking to the brick. So a lot of pressure right into the brickwork, all around the exposed area. Push it in, or so. And when you're preparing the brickwork before plastering with Hardwall, you don't want to use PVA, you just want to splash some water on it. Hardwall relies on suction, so it needs the brick to pull the moisture out of the Hardwall plaster, and that's when it's going to give it that initial bond. It's going to help it prime itself to the brickwork. So don't PVA it. You don't want to kill the suction with this stuff. Unlike bonding, it's good to PVA the areas, the exposed, blown areas with bonding. With Hardwall, you just want to use water on the brick. That's it. So again, just fill in them low sections. And then once you've got your initial coat, you can start adding your thickness. So now we can start building it up. Now because it's just a patch, it's a bit easier to deal with. So, you know, put it on quite thick. Don't try and trowel it flat. We're going to use a rule. It's always the case. So add the thickness. Working in the whole area. Now we've got our initial coat on, we can build it up. We just need to get a lot of pressure in that first setting so it's got a nice bond. This is a lovely product to use actually. I much prefer this to bonding. I think it's a lot creamier. You've got a longer amount of time to use the product. The only thing is when you're using Hardwall, the suction's very high when you plaster onto it. So that's why generally with patching, we use bonding because the suction's less aggressive. So they're the pros and cons to the products. When you are ruling, rendering, flattening, it's good to go both ways because this way you're going to get a straighter gauge. So I'm also going to rule horizontally there. From there we're going to move nicely onto British Gypsum bonding. This is designed for medium to low suction backgrounds. Now that means we've got to work specifically on areas like plasterboard, smooth existing plaster, and in this case, undercoat plaster. This is designed for areas where there's not much pull. So where you wouldn't want to use this, for example, is like bricks, blockwork, or anything with a real high suction rate, because what it'll do is it'll just rip all the moisture out of that product. Bonding is designed for medium to low suction backgrounds, like we said, so it's ideal for this. Now the reason we did PVA it in the first place is so it doesn't pull too much moisture from that level of bonding. So if you are going to use bonding, make sure you PVA the background first, just to make sure that it lasts longer and it's going to maintain that composition and don't pull all the moisture and crack. Now we've put these undercoat plasters on the wall, we need something to finish it, and this is where we're going to use British Gypsum Multi-Finish. This is a finished plaster that can be used on a various different amount of backgrounds. It can be used on smooth plaster, plasterboard, bonding, Hardwall. As long as you've got enough preparation, if you prep the wall correctly, then the British Gypsum Multi-Finish is your go-to finished plaster. I'll be honest, British Gypsum have absolutely nailed it, and they have no direct competition, which is why with all the finished plasters, undercoat plasters, interior plasters, it's all British Gypsum, because here in the UK, there's literally no other that's worth talking about. Now, I know there's a couple in Ireland, there's Carlite, but for me, we can't get any of their products. And British Gypsum Multi-Finish is the go-to finished plaster. You can also get a product called Board Finish, which is a lot smoother to use. But as a whole, I just recommend all-round multi, and that's where I'd say. If you are brand new to plastering, you want to learn the full process, how to apply the plaster, how to get the perfect mix, how to start getting legitimate information that is hand-tailored to you bit by bit, then click the link below and you can have access to a crash course in plastering free of charge for plastering for beginners. Just click the link. We'll send you daily emails with daily lessons on how you can get started. Now there's a problem with these gypsum based plasters. It doesn't let any buildings breathe. A lot of the older buildings which are used with lime mortar need to allow breathability. So sand cement can not only be hard to use, but it can be also very, very detrimental to buildings, leading to damp, and it can trap moisture between the brickwork. So the next rendering system we're going to mention here is an age-tested lime plaster. Now, lime rendering is an amazing source of, is an amazing material. It's probably the most breathable in all the materials you use, and it's completely natural. So this is a product we're using. This is probably the best company we're using for lime plaster. It's all bagged up, it's pre-mixed, pre-made, and it's added with synthetic fibre, which we're going to talk about now. So this is the lime plaster we're using. It's pre-mixed, it's already mixed in a bag. All we've got to do is pour it in and add a bit of water. A lot of the work is done for you. It's the big lump of plaster. We're just going to slowly add water and mix it together, and that is what we're going to use for the base coat. And using it is actually a beautiful product. I find it's a lot nicer than sand cement when you are using lime plaster. And again, like we said, it allows your buildings to breathe, and which is essential on certain builds. If you've got lime construction, especially if you use stone buildings. So lime plastering, rendering is, in my opinion, a superior product, and it's a lot nicer and better results to use. Now the problem is with lime, it can be very expensive. You have to use quite a lot of it to get the thickness required. Not only that, it takes a hell of a lot more time than say a standard sand cement finish, which means more time, more money for the customer, and generally it can lead to bigger issues in the fact that it needs to be controlled. You need to have a lot of moisture, you need to pay a lot of attention to how you're wrapping it. If you're rendering it on the outside, it needs to cover it with hessian afterwards. It can't be exposed to too much sunlight, so you do have to be very careful with lime, and it's actually probably one of the hardest systems to master if you are going to be doing this on a daily basis. Now this is probably going to lead nicely to a new modern kind of era. So what we've got now, we've got the main problem with sand cement, it's not breathing. It's very cheap to use and very fast, but it doesn't breathe. Lime does breathe heavily, but it's quite expensive and takes a long time. Now these modern renders out there now, so you can, for example, get a bagged pre-made render which emulates sand cement, but it's got breathable properties with it. And the next rendering system I'm going to talk about is a bagged render called OCR. This stands for one coat render, but it's basically a pre-mixed product, and the main thing about it is it does allow breathability. Now, in my opinion, it's never going to be as breathable as, say, a lime render, but it does have breathable properties in it. So you've got the best of both worlds in the fact that it's a pre-mixed product, it comes bagged, all you have to do is add water to it, mix it wherever you need to, and in terms of product use, it is an unbelievable, far superior product. It's stickier than sand cement, it's easier to apply, it's really nice to rule off, and the fact that when you're using it you're getting breathable properties is just a bonus, but everything else afterwards is an absolute gem. It's nicer to float, sponge, and it's a lot more forgiving. There's a lot more flexibility in these bagged renders, and in terms of after effects, I've not seen many cracking with, say, a render like OCR. Now the final product I'm recommending is this plasterboard adhesive. I'm not going to beat around the bush, I'm not going to go into this because I don't want to insult your intelligence, but this is a basic product which mix up powder form, mix to a thick consistency. You directly apply it to either brick, block work, and it's basically used just for sticking plasterboard to the wall. So you've got different companies for this. You can use British Gypsum or you can use Nauf, but this is just used to stick plasterboards to the wall. And that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, really appreciate it. And yeah, get on that plastering crash course, or you can watch this video on the left where we give you a direct, easy guide on how you can start plastering a wall, starting with the easiest system, multi-finish. Click that on the left, subscribe on the right. Nice one. See you in the next one.